Welcome to the Dead Pixel Society podcast, the photo imaging industry's leading news source. Here's your host, Gary Pageau.
The Dead Pixel Society podcast is brought to you by Mediaclip, Photo Finale, and Advertech Printing. Hello again and welcome to the Dead Pixel Society podcast. I'm your host, Gary Pageau, and today we're joined by the CEO and founder of Montreal-based company Mediaclip, Marion Duchesne. Marion, how are you today?
Hey, fine, thank you. Thanks for the invitation.
Well, it's great to have you. Listen, a lot of people know the Mediaclip name. They're aware of the company, but they may not know about the founding of the company, where it started, and what drove you specifically to found the company. What was the driving force?
Yeah, was kind of by accident at some point. I've done my master's degree in strategic planning. Mm-hmm. So I worked in strategic planning at Bell Canada, which is a major telco there. Mm-hmm. I had a lot of fun. It was the telco golden years, mm-hmm. the launch of the CDMA, cable companies and internet providers acquisition. It was really exciting. Mm-hmm. But then, boom, the voice over IP came. And for people who know me, I'm a passionate person. Mm-hmm. And obviously, voice over IP was boring. So I've decided that, it was kind of the same product, just delivered in a different way.
Right.
So I've decided that it was time for me to have kids. So I went in maternity leave. Mm-hmm. And this is where in 2005, I was looking to put pictures of my kids on product. Mm-hmm. And I didn't find anything. Designers were either, too complex or not enough flexible. Mm-hmm. So for various products. Mm-hmm. So I made a business case, and for fun, I was in maternity leave, so I had some times.
Well, you had some business savvy too. I mean, you have.
Yeah. And and I got meeting with Costco, Walmart, Loblaws in Toronto, mm-hmm. which I was surprised because, I thought it was an opportunity if they accept to my meeting request. So I got there and I finally launched a DVD service with Loblaws. Mm-hmm. So people were going on Photolab website, upload their pictures, choose music and themes. I was burning the DVDs, sending it back to the stores. Mm-hmm. But obviously, after a few months, you can imagine there was not a lot of volume. So
what was that? I mean, one of the things that people always talk about with Mediaclip is sort of the design aesthetic, how well things look, how well it's designed. Did you have that even in that first version of the product?
But because I designed it was really a simple HTML5 form. This is not where we really started what we're doing right now.
All right.
Yeah, it was my first baby step in entrepreneurship.
Were you burning discs yourself?
Yeah, I did. But there was not a lot of volume. So I was going back to work at Bell. But the thing is, my younger son has a physical disability. Mm-hmm. So my job at Bell could not sustain 3 or 4, therapy appointments per week.
Okay.
So I was pretty lucky because just before I was going back, Fujifilm Canada gave me a call and say, hey, do you know someone who can develop a photobook software? So wow. I thought it was my chance. I decided to launch a company. So I was able to manage my schedule, and I also grabbed the opportunity to officially quit my job. So I went to a friend who had a company of service of development, and we built the first version of the photobook. And we've been asked then for a calendar and a card module. Mm-hmm. And I've put all my money and my savings on the first photobook module. I've decided that, we would throw away everything what we've done and start a new solution to support any type of product. You're right. We put a lot of effort on the user experience. Mm-hmm. I would say there's 2 reasons, I think. The first one, I was the user.
Right.
So I had a development team to build something that I would like to use. Mm-hmm. while usually you have developers, doing things and not listening much to the consumer. So this was the first thing. The second one is we develop in Flash.
Right.
And my developers, the first one who worked on, but they most of them still with me, and by now I'm lucky. But they came um, from the graphic side
Okay.
of the programmation. So we worked together, and really it was a really cool application. Our first module in Flash, it was really awesome. However, yeah, we had to change everything in 2013,
Right.
moving to HTML5.
Yeah, because Flash today is, I mean, there was sunsetted,
It's
years
dead.
ago, but now it's officially dead.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, so I started a company, and but as a mom at the very beginning, I need to be surrounded by people who I could rely on. So this is where Christian and Philip came on board at the very beginning, and a little bit later, Marie-Ève joined us.
So how big is your team right now?
Right now in Montreal, we have 29%. We have someone in India, someone in Philippines, and yeah, we are expanding the team. It's pretty hard to find developers in Montreal. We have 11 job opening right now.
Well, there's a lot of, yeah, Montreal is becoming quite the tech hub these days, and so there's a lot of competition for talent there.
Yeah, for sure. We have all the gaming industry in Montreal. We have Facebook is here, Google is here, all the studio for the gaming taking so much, place. So yeah, it's pretty tough to find developers. Right now, I'm looking to hire in France. So
wow.
Yeah, yeah. So I have a mission right now. We are posting jobs, and we're doing interviews with French people that want to come in Montreal. So we need to find other ways.
Tell me a little bit about you as the customer, because it seems to me like a lot of the photo book companies are kind of created from, I don't know, the technical side, from the marketing side, but not from the user side. And I think nowadays that's more the case. I think these days, but back then that was a different business proposition. Did you have a hard time communicating that to your customers?
I would say, it's when they played with the software, they understood.
Right.
I think that was, I would say, our main USP. And I think we had a really, really special UI at that time. It was really user friendly, and everyone could play with it, find easily all the options, and yeah, it was a pretty cool solution. Yeah, that I think that's what put us on the map, obviously. Yeah.
Now, one of the other things that's kind of put you on the map from a technology standpoint has been the ability to, map pictures onto objects. If you're going to make a mug or a keychain or whatever, you're really among the first companies to offer that.
Yeah. Like I said, after the photo book, calendars, and cards, all the photo gifts were pretty popular. And so we wanted to develop software that was able to support all those products. Well,
and that's crazy, then, just the amount of products available now. You must be just updating all that must take 29 people.
That's for sure. There's thousands of product within the software. We provide the product to our customers, but they build their own as well.
Right.
So we have someone selling, Converse shoes, by example. So he's building his own shoes in the software, which is pretty easy. We provide tools for that. So I would say there's no product that now we cannot support. So very complex product can be supported into the software. So we got Trophy with all the transparencies, and it's pretty cool. I think we did a great job.
So one of the things that you mentioned before was the pivoting, right? You pivoted off of, HTML or Flash, and you had to get into HTML5 and things like that. We've also made some other pivots that I think are interesting in the sense that, at one time you tried to offer everything in the value chain, including the shopping cart and everything. And a few years ago, you pivoted away from that to more of a hub approach. Could you talk a little bit about that decision process?
Yeah, sure. There was change in the industry where at some point consumer were more mature online. They wanted to have the best shopping experience, even when they were buying personalized product. At the same time, we had retailers who were looking to leverage all the digital marketing tools that were available to grow their business. So, the homemade e-commerce platform, like we tend to use in the photo industry for several years, were not efficient anymore.
Right.
So we had to find a way to have a cloud solution.
Right.
And we've decided to put that on Azure. So it was really scalable and, all the security and all that stuff. So which is called the Mediaclip Hub, could be integrated into any e-commerce platform. So then we developed a Magento, Shopify, no commerce plugin.
Right.
And coming next week, we're going to launch the new WooCommerce extension as well. So meaning that the integration of the technology takes 3 clicks.
Right.
So anyone can now sell photo products on their website. And that was the vision that I had. So obviously we had to make the change from the on-premise to a cloud version.
Right.
And now with the, the scaling of it, we have so much volume. Last Christmas was like crazy. We relied on Azure infrastructure. So we had no problems dealing with all those volumes. So it was a good decision, but it all happened at the same time, because when we changed from Flash to HTML5, it was pretty tough, to be honest, because it was hard selling an old technology, but the new one was not ready.
Right.
So yeah, it was tough. And in this crisis, that was an opportunity for us to rethink the way we were doing things. And this is where we come up with the cloud solution. And I think it was the best decision we've taken up to now.
Because in some ways, like I've been talking to your staff, it's opened up a completely new customer base in some areas, like non-photo companies, like you said, like I know somebody making sneakers, they may be doing all kinds of other things, but they want to add personalized products to their portfolio. And now they don't have to redo their end, the commerce side or the shopping cart or the marketing. They can just plug your platform in.
Yeah, we got into markets where the photo is used as a media more than a souvenir or a finality.
Right.
So we got customers in, like I said, party supplies, in many areas. So, and personalization, obviously, I think that with the COVID, I don't know, we've seen a lot. I'll give you an example. Masks, last year, it was mandatory to buy a mask. A lot of people bought personalized mask. And I think that the people realized that they could personalize objects of their everyday life.
Right.
So I feel like the personalization and the mask customization trends have left the awareness market phase and are now more getting into a growth phase, reaching out the mass market. So I think it's an important step, especially for the photo industry, because we already, producing and having all those products, but, we need to think, over the, traditional photo website and market. There are so much opportunities beyond that.
Right. It is interesting because, the traditional photo market, especially for the personalized photo gifting products, continues to grow. Yeah. But it is interesting to see where, different items like golf balls and different things like that can be also personalized. And for many businesses, it's a huge growth area. I mean, when I look at some of the new printing platforms that are coming out, UV printers and things like that, it's really unlimited what you can print on. and it
Exactly.
and just think back in the day when you know you started, it was how do we make something on a flat sheet of paper. you know
Exactly. Yeah.
and it's really an unlimited market now. So
Yeah.
I also want to touch base a little bit about some of the activities that Mediaclip and yourself have been involved in, to help the next generation of tech. I don't know what the word I want to use there. I'm going to rephrase the question. The next generation of tech entrepreneurs is going. Can you tell me a little bit about some of the mentorship activities you've been involved in?
Yeah, I think it's really important to support and mentor women so they can access investment and grow their business.
Sure.
But before getting there, we need to encourage young women at early stage to catch the entrepreneurship virus, I would say.
Right.
Yeah, but we need first to change mentalities toward risk, for example,
Right.
life balance,
Mm-hmm.
hopes, opportunities. We need to provide them role models.
Sure.
But there are not many right now. Just to give you an example, in Canada, there's 21% of all the board seats of the TSX listed company are women,
Mm-hmm.
and women only represent 4% of CEOs.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in US it's a little bit better, but not much. I think it's only 6%
Yeah, I don't think
of
it's
the
very high
CEO,
either.
and then S&P 500 that woman owns CEO position. So I've made myself a life goal to spread the world, the word, to invest in scholarships and mentor young women. So I make a conference in school to tell them that there are many type of entrepreneurship, many type of business. I try to remove the cultural and sexual barriers.
Right.
And just tell them that you can have a business and have a family at the same time. It's just an example, because they're all there's some stereotype around the entrepreneurship. I think that blocks young women to move toward starting their own business. And I also try to push young girls to move towards scientific professions.
Right.
Yeah, because women in tech are less represented than in many industry. And just myself, I have a hard time hiring women in my development team.
Right.
And I think major part of the future will pass by technology. So as a CEO of a tech company, I think it's my duty to change things.
Sure.
And like I said at the very beginning, I started my company in a software development without knowing how to write a line of code. I just sees an opportunity to solve a problem
Sure.
and meet a need. And let's be honest, if I did it, every woman can do it. It's just we just need to tell those girls what to do and give them the tools. And so we really need a model in that sense. So that's why I'm giving scholarships
Can you tell me a
here in
little bit more
Montreal.
about the scholarships that you've made some announcements on
Yeah,
that, but
it's part on the FEMAREN. FEMAREN is an organism, a non-profit organism that help young ladies we call it secondary 5, which is like high school in US, who wants to go to their prom, but they don't have the money to buy, the dress, shoes, and everything. So every year we collect dresses, and we got sponsorship from L'Oreal and big brands.
Right.
So the young girls get their dress, get their shoes, they get makeups, and so on.
Right.
In the past 2 years, there were no prom night because of the COVID last year, and this year it won't be any either. So instead, we've decided to give scholarship, and it's been years that we've thinking about it. And because, like I said, I really want to help young women to go into the scientific, professions. I've launched a $1,000 scholarship.
Great.
And I will give mentorship to the young girl that is going to be selected. I did that last year, and it went pretty well, because those girls usually they don't have access to the tools, and sometimes they are immigrant, so they need some help over over school, just, to find job and understand how things work and, really see the opportunities that are in front of her.
Or maybe just seeing you as an example, right, can help. Just having your visibility, because you've been recognized by the province of Quebec, various entities for the company's success.
Yeah. Yeah, but I don't see myself that I'm not there yet.
Well, I don't know. You've
No, I'm happy what I've done. I'm happy what I've done. The business is going well. We have good reputation. I have great customers. My employees are happy, and above all, my kids seems normal and as happy as teenagers can be. So
yeah, I was going to say, if you started this company when 2005 and they were young, yeah, you're in the hard years now. You're in teenager world.
Yeah, at the end of it. And my older son is 18 now, so he's going to school, got his first girlfriend. But yeah, he dropped school at the beginning of the COVID because he didn't like the
online learning.
Online learning is pretty tough. Yeah. And my two kids has ADHD, just like me, so it's pretty tough to get organized. And he didn't know, where to go, what he wanted to do. So yeah, it took a few months off, and I was scared I didn't go back to school, but finally did. So
great. Yeah, COVID's been tough on just students in general. I can't imagine what it's like in houses where they don't have a parent who's as committed to education as you are. I mean, I imagine there's going to be a lot of stories coming out, I think, over the next few months over the impact of COVID on school age kids.
Yeah, in college here the dropout is near 50, I think it's 51%.
Wow.
It's huge. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, it's unfortunate.
So going forward, assuming that the world returns to some sort of normality in 2021 and certainly 2022, what do you see are some of the future positive trends for the industry and for Mediaclip?
Like I said previously, I think mass customization trend is huge. And we're getting a lot of requests from retailers that are in various segments. I think it's very promising. And I think that, my first idea to get everything, personalized, we're getting there. So now we have the technology for the production. We have the, the online technology as well. So I've been waiting for the consumer to just realize everything that it can do with it. So, but now it's happening, and it's pretty exciting.
I think what's going to be interesting is when personalization becomes more of a baseline expectation of consumers, like when they buy, let's say, a USB stick and there's an option to customize it just automatically. That's one of the options. I think, that's going to be where I think the industry is going to have another inflection point upward.
Exactly. And this is how I envision the world. So
well, that's good news.
I hope we get there. Yeah, obviously, but on decor as well, when you think at all the possibilities, to get curtains, to get duvet, so you want to redecorate your room. Right now, you have to find all matches all together. You have to do a lot of shoppings.
Right.
But now, it's the same thing with the software. I'm working hard right now to, our software is really photocentric.
Yeah.
But photo can be used as a texture, by example, or patterns or whatsoever. So we can use the software. We need to change a little bit the user experience.
Yeah.
But this is something we're looking at right now. It's just to let the user choose from colors, patterns to apply on tissue, on whatsoever. So people can redecorate the way they want and just sit in front of the computer and just be creative. So yeah, we're getting there.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for your time, Marion, and best wishes for a great 2021.
Thank you very much. It's going to be good. It's exciting. I feel I'm starting a business right now, obviously. So, and I think 2021 will be good for, all of the industry. We just need to open a little bit our eyes. Yeah.
Thank you for listening to the Dead Pixel Society podcast. Read more great stories and sign up for the newsletter at www.thedeadpixelssociety.com.